Yo, my boy, how's it going?
The only Jirrove in the world.
Google it. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How is Montreal treating you?
Oh, bro, thanks for having me. It's amazing in terms of just, you know, work.
Yeah.
Been a successful week, and last time we spoke, it was a different position, bro. So life's a bit different.
What was the revenue this week? Like
just a light 10.
Little 10 piece?
Little 10 piece, bro.
I love that. Yeah, we gotta drink a little bit of wine.
All right, bet. Let's go. So it's a Friday night. We out here. Yeah. What's the plan?
So today on my Instagram, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, please follow me. But I asked a few people to ask me questions, so I thought we'd answer them on a YouTube video. So that's what we are. By the way, if you like me and you love me and I've provided enough value in your life, please get me glasses of wine or wine glasses.
I'm gonna get my boy some wine tonight.
I don't have them since I've moved in. I don't think it's needed, bro. Do we need it?
I don't know.
All right, cool. So I was just doing a little bit of work. Normally I don't really work much on Friday night, but
thank you.
But yeah, let me show you guys what I was working on.
So this is the place where the M's are made.
This is where the millions are made.
The trenches. It's crazy. From seeing it on Zoom this time last year,
yeah,
to now actually being here. So what have you been working on?
I was just looking at, so I had a clarity session with a client today, and I was just making sure that everything that we spoke of in our clarity session is on his Notion page, to make sure that the rest of the team knows what we spoke of. And this client is actually going to be killing it because he's built, by the way, Kieran, if you're watching this, I'm about to shout you out, but he's built an e-commerce brand without leveraging any paid ads. He's currently doing at least 15K a month, all from leveraging organic channels like TikTok and influencers, right? And what he's done is he's created a recurring model, subscription model within Ecom, with his e-commerce brand. So he's making like 60% profit, which is insane. So what I actually told him is push this TikTok UGC offer, but we're actually also going to be building a consulting offer from what you've been able to build, right? Because there's not many people out there who, especially dropshippers who get in e-com and who want to scale a brand using paid ads. None of them really end up succeeding. So I was like, you're 18, you've built a six-figure, almost multiple six-figure brand, and you're doing it, and it's literally passive. So I was like, a lot more dropshippers would love to get the same information, the same knowledge that you've been able to acquire. So let's make you some few mils just from the experience that you've been able to have, right? And so yeah, this is Notion. This week has been pretty crazy for client acquisition itself. We've been on a roll. I think this is also going to be another six-figure week. So today we made a little 13K. The day before we made another like 10K or 11K. I don't know how to change it, but like, yeah, the other day 13K. The day before we did I don't know how to switch it, 11K. Tuesday another 12K.
What about when you picked me up from the airport, bro?
When I picked you up from the airport on the 17th, we did 34K on Stripe and another 11K on a wire. So this has been, the last 7 days has been 94K collected on Stripe and another 10K on Wise. So technically we're still on track to hit our biggest month. And guys, like, a lot of people may see this and be like, oh, Serge, like, you must be doing something special. No, I'm not doing anything special. I'm solving offer problems, appointment setting problems, appointment setter problems, sales problems for agencies and high ticket consulting businesses, and we're giving the market what the market wants, at the price that the market wants it, right? So to me, a lot of people think it's about me, but it's not really about me, because I don't really do a lot of work. If you really think about it, let me show people my calendar. Come here. Because a lot of people think that in order to make a lot of money, you need to be working a lot. But if you look at here, the only time I work is Sundays. I have 3 calls, or 2 calls really. On Monday I have, this Monday is the day that I have a lot of calls. Tuesday is all about building. Wednesday building. Thursday building. And Wednesday I have other calls, but 4 days out of the week I'm not actually doing much work besides think, learn, and hire people, right? So if you want to get to a point where you're doing 6 figures a week, it has nothing to do with what you're doing. It has everything to do with your team and how good you are at leveraging people, talented people, and systems, and building an amazing infrastructure. And that's what I preach within our program. It's not about you, the entrepreneur. If you want to build a business, you got to get rid of this entrepreneurship mindset where, oh, I'm gonna be the best advertiser, I'm gonna be the best closer, I'm gonna be the best appointment setter. No. I don't want to be the best. I want to have the best people in my company. That's the difference between making 100K a month and 100K a week. But anyway, let's go answer some questions, and then or else this video is going to be longer than long as hell. Do you have my phone? Cool.
Oui. Oh yeah, that's another thing I like about Montreal. Everyone here speaks French, and it's a cool vibe because obviously you're in North America, and then everyone here is literally French. So
that's Quebec is French. Tout le monde parle français. Make sure the angle is good.
Of course, bro.
Let's see what the angle looks like.
Hey, yo, mom and dad, I made it to Serge's crib, where ends are made.
Jeez.
Right there.
Let's go.
It's the abundance, bro. Absorbing it. Cool. So, one of the questions: what is the one thing you wish you knew about when you started your business?
The number one thing. I think this thing that I've been talking about on my Instagram, I think I shared it like a day ago, but I think the number one thing that I would have wished I knew when I started out was sell something that go in an industry, because I think that the market is more important than the offer. The market is more important than the entrepreneur. The market is more important, and what I mean by market, I mean the market you choose to play in is more important than anything that you can do afterwards, right? So, and the reason why I say that is because I've seen so many talented people, so many people with great mechanism, with great solutions, who aren't able to make any money. And when I say money, I mean like they're not able to hit a great, like an amazing level with, to hit at least multiple 7 figures a year, because they chose the wrong market. They are amazing people, scale set like crazy, but when it comes to making sales, there is a lack of sales velocity where there's not enough people wanting the thing that they're selling, and not only that, but there's not enough people can actually afford and make a decision fast on the thing they're selling. So, in my opinion, if you're gonna choose a niche to go in, make sure a niche and a thing you're gonna be selling, make sure that there is velocity when it comes to sales, where a lot of people want it and they want it now, and they can also afford it. So that's my one thing. That's the number one lesson. Because if you pick the right market from the get-go, you're good. And that's where, if you look at yourself, like the success you're seeing, like you started pushing your offer when, like in beginning of August, and by the end of the month you were at like 15K in revenue. You picked a good market. You picked something that people want, and you picked something that people can afford.
Yes, sir.
So now you're chilling. Now you're here in Montreal having fun.
The client acquisition that I experienced. I'm gonna give you a fire testimonial.
Let's go.
So, what would be your advice to someone who's getting started in sales?
Sales? Learn marketing. I see a lot of people who for me, I'm a proponent of marketing over sales, because I think it's all about leverage, guys. It's like sales is a one-to-one thing, actually, yeah, that's true. Sales is a one-to-one thing. Marketing is one-to-many. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
So like if you're good at marketing, you can sell.
That's leverage.
So it's a bigger leverage in sales. So you want to close? Come close for me. I'm happy with that, right? Okay. Now I don't want people coming out because I'll get like 100 DMs if I say this. But like, yes, you can make multiple six figures a year just from being an amazing closer. I think my closers this month are going to make at least 20K each, and that's 40, 50K in compensation, which is amazing. It's amazing. They make more than me. I take home less than what they take home, right? But if there wasn't any marketing, they wouldn't be able to make any money and eat, right? So become good at sales, but eventually transition to marketing, because marketing is way more important than sales.
Facts.
That's my advice.
This is a good question. What exactly does your agency do? Because obviously recently you've been pushing out a lot of things, and you originally started out in the appointment setting space.
Yeah.
Where have you evolved to today?
I've evolved into building a company, into building clientacquisition.io to become a company where anyone who's running a service-based business, or anyone who's interested in running a service-based business, who already has some information and some experience or some insight around the space, a company where they can go to and make it unreasonable for them not to win. And the way that we do it is we really have two phases, right? We have a phase that's called the sowing, right? So I built the company following the principle of the harvest, right? Where it says that, I was actually making a VSL the other day and talked about this, right, in one of the trainings I did. It says that if you plant a seed, right, and you give it sun, enough rain, and enough nutrients, the seed is eventually going to produce the right reward, which is a fruit, right? So I was like, well, how can I build a company where I build the components that need to be built and put in place in order for a service-based business owner to at least be taking home 500K profit every single year, right? So that's what clientacquisition.io does. We come in, we take care of your offer. If you already have something proven, we'll give you something that is proven, right, to sell. If you already have something that is working, but you think it could be doing better, you're facing resistance within the marketplace, people are not buying fast enough, people are hesitating when it comes to buying, then we'll actually look at your offer, and based on the data that we have from the 500 agencies and consultants that we've worked with, then we'll actually help you refine the offer, right? And then once we have the offer dialed in, then we'll go over the outbound prospecting. How can you get appointment or interest online without having to spend money on ads or things like that? So we'll actually build outbound campaigns online for you. We'll structure them, the messaging, the channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, even emails. And then we'll train setters to actually implement the cold outreach for you, right? So you don't have to do anything. And then the next thing we've been doing is we've been building cold email systems that can send over 625 emails per day. They can be scaled up to 100,000 emails per month, actually. And then those two, social outreach and then cold email systems, we mix them together in setters, and they're able to do at least 500 to 1,000 outreach for your offer. So that way you get 10 to 20 people interested a day, warm leads coming to you, wanting to learn about your offer. And then after that, we'll help you improve your sales, help you close more deals. And then after that, we'll also consult you on fulfillment. So we take care of the offer, take care of the outreach, appointment setting, train setters for you, help you with sales, and also be available to consult you on your fulfillment. So that's what we do.
It makes sense that the numbers you're seeing.
We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot.
Yeah,
We're doing a lot. And the thing is, most people don't see this, but like, I've essentially built verticals for every single thing. Like, I have consultants on the offer, taking care of our clients' offers. I'm also, consulting our clients when it comes to their offer. Like Kieran today, I helped him, think about this new offer. And then I have, over 3,000 appointment setters that are being trained every single month to be ready to be placed in companies, right? If you want a train setter, by the way, let me know, DM me or book a call with my team. And a cold email system. We've built a vertical for cold email, right? We've built a cold email, a vertical for like people wanting to launch short form content offers, which you're consulting in, TikTok, UGCs, paid ads agencies, right? I'm not necessarily helping people. I'm not selling a course on how to build a business, but you come to me and you have an idea, I can make it unreasonable for you not to win. So that's essentially the logic. And yeah, we've been able to build, right now we're going to probably do like over 300K this month. And and the business is not breaking. We're here shooting content, drinking wine. So
yes, sir. And one thing that I personally wanted to ask is, who is this program for? You got a ton of beginners, a ton of people already seeing, some success.
Yeah.
And recently, you are changing your qualifications.
Yeah.
What they look like.
So one thing that I realized is that the success rate is different depending on how much information and experience people have, right? If I'm going to be honest, the more experience you have, the better you're going to do. It's that simple, right? So if you've never gone through a course before, if you've never invested in a course, like let's say Iman Gadget's course, Kai Bax's course, I don't know how many people, Jaime, everybody who's selling courses, you go invest with them. I don't mind. Go buy their courses, get some foundational stuff. Go buy Sam Oven stuff. Go check out Hormozy stuff, right? Once you have a little bit of foundation, right? Then come to us and then we'll build the whole thing. And the reason why we don't necessarily want to work with complete, newbies is because the amount of work that we're going to put on you, and not necessarily in the sense of hey, we're going to ask you to do a bunch of things. We're technically going to be setting up everything for you, but you're going to have responsibilities that are going to be heavy, right? Because now you can't back out. Because once I train setters, 2 setters, and put them in your company, once I give you a new offer, once I give you a new sales script, once I give you all this stuff, you're going to have something that you need to manage. So if you have zero experience and you have a job or things like left and right, you might not be as successful as most people who are all in and who are already pursuing something. So if you've signed a client in the past with an offer, it doesn't matter what it is, and you have that belief within you, and now you want to just scale things, then yeah, I think anyone who's signed at least one deal in their life, and people are already making a few 5, 10K a month or more, would be the best ideal clients for us, because then we just hit the ground running. It's just fast. They get it faster. Hey, this is setters, this is the metrics, benchmarks, here's the evergreen VSLs, here's the channels, here's the content framework, here is everything, and then they just do, right? But our newbies need to literally you need to literally change the way they think. But then it takes, it's a lot of people don't understand this, but the hardest part around scaling a business has nothing to do with the tactics. It has all to do with the entrepreneur, right? So it takes 3 months, 4 months for someone to actually be committed and to actually start doing the right things. And then they start seeing success 2 months, after 4 months, right? So it's but my goal is I would love to see clients see success in the first month, right? Why do we have to wait 4 months? So that's the only thing. Now, I'm not saying that I won't be able to help people who are starting out. You guys have, 5 days to 50K a month program. You have all these free programs out there that I've created that you can check out. So check those out, and then, when you want to work, come see me.
Yes, sir. And that's exactly what I did this time last year. Couldn't afford it. And
yeah,
man's here right now with the bike.
Let's go.
So next question is 5 books that change your way of thinking.
5 books that change the way of thinking. I don't listen. I would love to share a book, but I'm not going to share books. I'd rather share a podcast. Because books is it's too much of a long format, guys. Our time span is messed up right now, so we can't even read books anymore, right? So I would suggest first podcast Knowledge Project. The first episode that you should listen to is by a guy called Mike. He's talking about you gotta live in the future. So just write "Live in the Future" by Mike. I forgot, he's a VC guy. He invests in companies and startups. Podcast by Chamath. I was actually re-listening to it today. Another podcast, of course, a book that is really great is by Ray Dalio, Principles. It's an amazing book. I love the fact that he talks about that, your career or your business journey is more like going into a jungle, right? But a lot of people think that the goal is to get out of the jungle, when the goal is the journey within the jungle, right? So a lot of people, even myself, I'm like, hey, I want to make $250,000 per month, and I'm like, I'm sad until I get there. But no, I want to be happy today. I want to enjoy today. I want to drink this glass of wine while shooting this banger and be in the present and enjoy it, right? So Knowledge Project, another podcast that's really good. Daily Mind Medicine by Taylor Welch. I think is really good. What else?
Grant Cardone. You love Grant Cardone.
Yeah. But a lot of people won't resonate with Grant Cardone much because he's not really the type of guy who's going to talk a lot of tactics. He's just going to talk a lot of motivation and big vision, big think, right? For sure there's one podcast with Grant Cardone with Brandon, his new partner, where they're talking about how they're going to be, the same thing that Hormozi is doing, right? They were talking about the fact that you could go and partner with a few companies doing like a few $1 million a year, 5 million, 10 million, put them together, scale them, and then go sell them as one. And that's actually a pretty interesting thing. Like if you're someone out there who's killing it in business, I think the biggest lever you can pull is to go and partner with companies and actually scale them and make and just put them in a portfolio and go sell that portfolio. So that's something I definitely want to look like down the line with my next program. I want to actually build something where I can partner with my clients and help them scale and get a piece of the cake within their business instead of scaling my own businesses.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is the make of your car and what does that car do for your mindset?
I drive a 663S AMG Mercedes. What it does for my mindset. So I've always been someone who loves cars. I mean, the first time that I got to drive a car, like I got obsessed and I got my first job to actually go get my license. The first job that I had was so crazy. I was literally working like in a farm. It's crazy. I was making like $50 a day here in Montreal. Damn. Right? The same jobs that people without papers, like passports and shit like that.
I remember the story in Italy.
Right?
You were picking up like aubergines and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It was crazy, bro. All because I wanted something, I don't mind, see, that's what a lot of people don't get. It's like, just because you see someone killing it today does not mean they didn't have that, we don't come, I don't come from the bottom, but I literally had to work jobs that I didn't have to work. I was in school, I had, I was okay, smart, you know what I mean? So I could have gotten a better job, but I got the thing that was the fastest to get, you know what I mean? I'm impatient when I want something, right? Which is how I behave with all my goals. Like I'm always impatient. I don't want to wait to make $250,000 when I'm 30. Why? You know what I mean? So anyway, cars AMG has 500 horses. What it does about my mindset, I think it makes me happier. It's the thing that I can actually enjoy, and it costs me a lot of money. I think it costs me more than rent, but I enjoy it. I wouldn't trade it for anything, right? And one thing I've realized though is that it actually also matches my character. Because a lot of people don't realize this, but like when you get to a certain level, you gotta have materialistic stuff that actually prove that you're at a certain level. Because just making money on Stripe, like I just showed you guys that we just made 6 figures in a week, right? But like, do I have 6 figures in my bank account, in my personal bank account? No, I do not. So like, it's not tangible. It's just Stripe. It just figures on a screen, right? I could literally take my phone and write 6 figures. Does that mean that I'm make 6 figures? It's the same thing. So you need something tangible, something that represents you, and that you've got to technically attach yourself to these things because they make up who you are, right? That's why you'll see a lot of people buying some expensive watches, a lot of expensive homes, because materialistic stuff is proof. It's like the undeniable truth. You can't fake. Like if you break your arm, you can see that it's broken, right? You can't really be like, oh, my arm is not broken, right? So you need physical representation of your success to really believe it deep down. So I guess that's what it helps me achieve.
Yep, and the horses are powerful. I'll say that.
Yeah, they have to experience it.
Yes, sir. All right, we've got man like saying, "Can you invest in me?"
I love how people ask dumb questions. I mean, it's not a dumb question. I guess it's better to ask a question than not to ask it, right? But the only way I would invest in you is if you would make me more money than I would pay, or then I would invest in you, right? A lot of people just, I think we had another question with someone asking me for money too. Like people are like, hey, can you help me? Can you help me? It's like, how can I help you? Do you just want me to give you money? How is that helping you, right? So I think a lot of people who, I'm gonna just say this to people who are currently in a bad situation. The only way you get out of your situation, stop trying to get some tactics, go get a job. Go get a fucking job, like actually fucking work, There's no way around this. Like we're not here making this video for free. Like Jirrove had to pay his flight ticket, he's staying at an Airbnb. Somebody has to be paying him every month. He has to be paying by clients. It's like a lot of people think that just because we're making more money than average people, that it means that we're getting it for free. You know what I mean? It's
Doesn't
not.
work like that.
So it's like
Some people are just entitled.
It's insanely entitled, bro. It's insane.
I seen your story saying, "Yo, don't send me voice notes."
Yeah, like, why are you sending me voice notes, bro? Like, you want me to? I've seen people send me 4 minutes of voice notes. I was like, are you serious? If you're seeing this and you'd like to send voice notes, please don't do it. I know it's easier for you to do it, but think about the other person, especially if that person is making millions. You know what I mean? Like, our time is worth a lot of money. Like, instead of listening to your 4 minutes, I could go and give an advice to a closer or motivate my team, and they could make 10x on their hard work, right? So chill out. But anyway, if you're broke right now, go get a job. Like, come work, help someone, do something. That's the only way you get out of your situation. Stop thinking it's not about you. It's not about your situation. I don't care if you're in a bad situation. I don't care if you're in Africa. I don't care if you're in Canada. I don't care if you're homeless. I've been giving money every day to homeless people, right? So it's not that I don't mind giving money to people, but I hate giving money. At least even the homeless people, bro, they put themselves in the position to even be seen.
That's marketing.
They're great marketers. They stand in front of the grocery store. Guess who? People are definitely going to get in grocery store, because guess what? That's where the traffic is at. Everybody needs food, right? They're genius. So I go to the grocery store, I see him, he's asking for money. He's prospecting, he's asking, he's making the ask, right? And if I'm in a great week, 6-figure week, oh, hey, bro, I'm going to bless every homeless man I see.
Which you have been.
But then you'll have people in my DMs asking, hey, can you help me? It's like, no, there's not enough people. Do not ask just one person. Okay, if you're going to ask for money, at least ask 1,000 people a day. Then it is gonna negate luck, right? Because you're gonna at least have 1 or 2 people who be like, oh, okay, let me help him.
Yep.
So volume then they have the volume negates luck, man. There's so many lessons in business. Oh my God, it's so funny. But yeah, ask a bunch of people. If I can help you, I'll get you a VA who's gonna ask for money on your behalf.
Sheesh.
Systematize the
it works.
The begging, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. So this person says, please help Rwandans, in brackets me, to participate in your team.
I'd love to get more people. I even have family that I've tried training before, but the thing is, I can't hire people from Rwanda yet, because the infrastructure is there is not as great, and I don't have anyone there to manage them. Like, for me, I'm not going to be training people. Like, I have way too many responsibilities to go and hire people and spend a lot of time training them, right? Right now, the reason why we do business mostly in the Philippines is because I have Reg, I have 2 people under her who are running an operation where they're training like 500 people every single week, right? So I'm not the one managing it right now. If I had someone in Rwanda and we had an infrastructure and a training set up for them, I'd love to do it. But if I can't do it at scale, I'll not do it. But I'm coming down to Rwanda this December, so maybe we can have a training session and with a bunch of people, and then from there, if you guys want to be paired up with clients, you can go and get clients online. But for now, I have to pick the right thing for my clients, the most predictable thing and most consistent. So it's not about me, it's not about Rwanda, it's about what's best for my clients and for our business.
Cool. So are there any openings on your sales team right now, or are you planning to grow anytime soon?
Right now we don't have any openings yet, although we're booking like over 100 calls a week. We're currently hiring someone to take care of our discovery calls, right? So right before they speak with the closers. But if you want to apply for a closing position, I think you can find an application funnel on my Instagram bio, so you can apply. But please do not harass me with like following up with me. If I need you, I'm gonna find you, right? Just apply, just make sure you're seen. But please don't like force it, because it gets annoying sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Who was your mentor?
I'd say Grant Cardone, Sam Ovens. I've learned a lot from Nick Osman. I've learned a lot from Taylor Welch when it comes to mindset and consulting. I've learned a lot, we've all learned a lot from Hormozi nowadays. And who else? Chamath, Jeff Bezos. Who else have I learned from? Who else do I learn from a lot? Eugene Schwartz when it comes to advertising, he's a GOAT. But direct mentors, I haven't actually had look at direct mentor, because to be honest, I've only signed up in like 2 programs since I've started.
What are those 2 programs?
I signed up in we can't give them free traffic, because I would have given the names, but they're not good.
Yeah.
I would if it was really good, like I would suggest Sam Ovens Consulting Accelerator. It's amazing. Shout out to consulting, but that's not really a program. That's more like a course. But I'm not going to say the name of the different programs I've gone through, because
it'll be a disservice.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really good. I think, I'd rather give them the free 5 days to 50K a month program, right? But I've gone into 2. One of them, and then another was a mastermind. But the mastermind was just so I can get better with ads, and yeah, those are the really 2 high ticket things that I've bought. But I need to find a good mastermind to join. Comment below which mastermind you think I should join. I don't want to join Sam Ovens because it's a course creating business. I don't want to go that route, right? The only thing I would probably look into is probably like mergers and acquisitions, because I want to play the bigger game. I'm tired of this little game of making baby money.
Yes. Cool. So, any tips for cold email outreach for Ecom?
No, you don't need a bunch of tactics. You just need to give the people what the people want. So go on YouTube, look up the most trendy, most viewed thing within the e-commerce space, and build a service around it.
Cool. I'm 18 and motivated. What's one thing I can do to make a meal before I turn 20?
Oh, so he's 18. He has 2 years.
He's 18. Yep.
I mean, the best thing you could do is probably become a setter and then become a closer, and then build a business. So like spend 1 year being a great setter, 6 months being a great setter while learning about sales, and then 6 months closing, and then spend a year building a business. Because then if you can set and you can close, and I give you a great offer, in a year you could do damage.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what
facts. I feel like that's the journey that I've been on as well.
Yeah.
So, how should agency owners go about trying to build a great onboarding SOP for clients?
Well, I mean, that's so broad as a question, right? And you can't really ask that to someone else, right? I don't think there's a framework to building SOP. I mean, there's probably a framework to documenting the process, but it's so different from everybody else, right? Because the onboarding is dependent on the service, right? So like Jirrove's onboarding for content is not the same the onboarding that we have for our program, right?
Spend 1 week onboarding a client,
right? So it's like, and then that first week the process is spent on different things based on what you need. Okay, I'll tell you this: the best, you need to ask yourself, hey, what is the number one thing, or a list of things that I need from my clients to make it unreasonable for me not to get them results, right? So you need to understand their offer, you need to understand their business, you need to understand their clientele, you need to understand what keeps their clientele from sleeping at night. You need to figure out what is their desired outcome. You need to get all these things, and then you also need access to certain assets, and then you also need to schedule some kickoff calls, some onboarding calls. For me, we try to onboard our clients in less than 24 hours, so speed of onboarding is probably the most important thing. So onboard people fast and know what are the things that you need from the client to make it unreasonable for you not to be able to deliver an amazing outcome. Not just delivering, but make it unreasonable for you not to understand their audience and their niche and their service, and then everything you need to deliver great results.
Fire. What are your plans to diversify your income? Any advice for investments to be in the long run?
I'm not trying to diversify. What thing could make me more money than right now?
People are going to be like, oh, crypto investment stocks.
Yeah, talk about crypto. How many? Do you know how many people, how many clients lately have been selling their crypto to join our program? Insane. We've had at least like, in the last month, we probably had like 4 or 5 people sell crypto.
Wow.
Right? So no, crypto, I could throw money at crypto. Actually, you just reminded me, I have those clients who sent us through crypto haven't yet withdrawn the money from the Binance, right? I need to do it. I'm so lazy at doing things, bro. Sometimes I'm just crazy. But okay, I'm not going to diversify. I'm running a multiple 7-figure business. I think I can do it to 8 figures, and even more than that. So I'm not going to diversify. Why would I try to focus on something else when I have a cash cow right now, right? Once I have so much money that and I've hit the peak of business, then I can try to diversify and just mitigate the risk. But right now I have just so much more to accomplish within business. So business is the main thing that I'm focused on.
Cool. And the final one is, in which country do you want to live in one day when your goals are reached for this world?
I don't know yet because I haven't really been in a lot of countries, but I've seen Spain was really beautiful, man. The weather, the people there. Spanish, hablar un poquito español. So might have to go there. I love, maybe a little bit of Europe, a little bit of maybe Miami or Nashville, or somewhere in Texas, and a little bit in Africa too. I have a lot of family there, so would be good to go visit, spend a few meals there, and then that would be good.
Oh, and I wanted to ask one last question.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel seeing your customers succeed? And you've literally seen them from where they were to where they are now. How does it feel? Yeah,
man, bro, it's you can't really describe it, right? And sometimes the thing with our type of business is that right now we have a lot of clients, so sometimes I lose track of how much impact we're having. But let's say seeing you right now, it's like, bro, sometimes I'm like, this motherfucker, man, goddamn, he's killing it, And to be honest, it's like, that's why I always like to ask you, hey, out of all the people who've impacted your life, do you think I've had the most impact? Because I'm just trying to make sure that it's real, that it's actually true, right? Because sometimes I'm a little confused, and I'm like, is it actually true, and is it legit that I've actually helped you, right? And when you confirm it, I'm like, fuck, this is amazing. Because for me, it's like, sometimes I'm like, is it actually true? Are we actually doing a good job? But when I see you killing it, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, I appreciate you a lot. Let's go. One thing I did want to say, I'll do my live testimonial here right now. I wouldn't have popped off with this offer if it wasn't for me taking the leap of faith and just be like, I made that Loom video for you guys. Do you remember that? And this was, when you were doing the mastermind in London.
Yeah. You wanted to shoot the...
I just like the point you made earlier, some people are like, oh, give me money, give me help. I just went out and get it. I was like, all right, let me make a Loom. Showed my work. I was like, oh yeah, me and Marcus are friends. I'm the guy you need for the content side of things. And then from there, it just snowballed. It was a delayed start. And then, obviously, there you go.
Now you're killing it. No, man. Yeah, man, it's crazy. And and the fact is, we're just getting started, right?
Facts.
And I think in the next few, and then by next year, I think I'm gonna be one of them ones. To be honest, I think with what I've noticed with this online game is that it's pretty easy to become the number one person. Because most people are actually not that good. I've seen people, bro, the people I looked up to, they're still making 100 grand a month, 150 or 200 grand a month. I'm like, have you not learned business? Business is not about just coasting at a spot. You gotta change and impact people's lives, right? And the funny thing is, I haven't made a single course launch. I haven't done anything, and I've just given more than most people have given. And that's why we're starting to grow the audience. We're starting to get more people buying, and I just generally think I've given the most, and I'm gonna keep giving as much as I can, because I truly believe that the only way, from my last video on YouTube, I said that the way you actually scale a company is you need to become the person who provides the most amount of value. But for free.
That's one thing, that's been pivotal for me, even before you knew who I was, right? This time last year, I wanted to join the program. I literally found out about Serge because I've seen some of my mutual friends in the agency space join the program. I see all these shark things. I was like, oh, who's this? And then I saw Serge was making videos. I was like, he had less than 1,000 followers at the time, but he was saying he can get people to like 30K, 50K a month. And I was like, the math ain't mathin', but like, let me listen. Because I was like, most of the people in the space, I've gone through courses, I'm not gonna mention the names, but all the mainstream ones, I've been through them. I didn't really see much. But when I attended, this time last year, you did like a free DM masterclass. I took all the notes down, bro.
Yeah.
And in January, you did the free 5-day
challenge.
Yeah. And I asked you questions. It was I was scared to speak to you.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I was like, oh, let's ask a question. And then when you brought me up on the Zoom, I was like, damn, I'm actually speaking to Serge. That's crazy. And then now that we're able to fast forward to today, like it's crazy. It's not even been a year that like I've literally known about you for I think just 12 months.
Yeah.
And my life has changed insanely like in the past 12 months, and you pretty much ignited the flame. And I'm not saying this to like inflate your ego. You don't really have an ego. That's another thing I resonate with. A lot of people in the space, like you said, they just stay on 100K a month because they're complacent. They're good marketers at the show, showing the lifestyle, but in terms of the actual value add, you are the best in the game for that. So I appreciate that a lot, man.
Let's go. God damn.
Let's go. Come on, man.
Damn.
And for those watching that aren't already, that they might be on the fence, or maybe they're starting out, they can't afford the program. This is the only program you need is the free the 5-day challenge, the free 50K a month program, because it literally has everything. Just take a look at Serge's channel. That's all I say.
Yeah, I think my YouTube channel is going to be probably the most insightful channel that there is, and yeah, that's yeah, guys, just keep chasing. Keep chasing. One of the things that I like to keep telling Jirrove is like, what the fuck are you doing? Like slowing down. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was about to say something, but we're not gonna go there. But for me, I get pissed when someone has a great offer, but they're taking it one step at a time. I'm like, we don't have time to chill. You don't have time to delay, because you only get one shot at this. For me, it's like in my mind, client acquisition that I is my only shot. So when I wake up every day, I'm not trying to be like, oh, we made a cool week, did a great job this week, and then let's chill. I had one of my closers not send a Lumen end of day report, and he's closed almost 6 figures for me this week. But I was pissed that he did not make a Lumen within his end of day report, and he tried to say like, hey, but I did, we almost did, cool, I've closed almost 6 figures this week. I was like, so what? When you start winning, that's when you do even more. That's when the standards go even higher. Because if you just start to slack off and you just you're like, oh, but I just closed these many deals. Well, guess what? If you stop doing the thing that got you there, you start losing, right? Because if you can't make meals, how are you going to take care of your family, bro? Someone the other day asked me like, hey, have you retired, any of your parents? I'm like,
that was me.
No, that was not you. Actually, someone asked me a question on I don't know who I was speaking to, but someone asked me that, but I didn't think I've never had the goal to, we'll have a chat about the whole thing, but I've never had a goal to retire someone. But I'm like, I'm in the position where I could literally retire anyone I wanted to, right? But it's like, what the fuck? I'm in a position where I could retire someone. That's pretty crazy. Right?
More than one people, more than 10.
I know. I'm like, god damn, what the fuck? So I've never actually had it as a goal, and it actually it raised a little goal within me, and like, what? Like, what if I retired some, a family member by the end of the month? I'm like, hey, you can work if you want, but you don't need to work.
Well, one thing that I would do, I would not retire my parents, even though I say that as a goal. I would let them do whatever it is that they had a passion in. And for my parents, my dad, like, he grew up on a farm, like raising pigs and stuff like that in the Philippines. He wants to do that and just be one of them. My mom, she wants to start like a business or something in Philippines. I'm going to support that, because then you're giving them the freedom. I don't believe you said the same thing. You shouldn't retire anyone, because humans are always meant to be
working. We're meant to be evolving. So like, just give them the freedom to do what they want to do, right? But yeah, no, man. So let's end this because it's gonna be a long one.
It's a banger, but yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys for checking this out. If you loved it, click watch more, and then yeah, can't wait till I hit 500K a month because
soon.
By the way, I'm going to be releasing a newsletter in the next few weeks where I share everything that I'm learning to try to help scale my business past $500,000 a month and eventually $1 million a month. So if you'd like to access directly everything I'm learning, look out for the newsletter because it's going to be like nothing, like I'm not gonna hold anything back, right? Everything I learn, I'm gonna condense it into one little banger of an email, and then I'm gonna write down notes, and then eventually I'm gonna be sharing it on YouTube, but it's gonna first be released on the newsletter. It's gonna be called the Natural Born Leader newsletter.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, cool.
Peace.
Take care, guys. Hey, thank you for watching my video. One thing that I want to ask you is please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with the people in your circle, people who can find this content helpful. And before you actually leave, I have a 5 days to 50K a month program with the right offers, the right mindset, decision-making, training, everything you need when it comes to scaling an agency, high-ticket coaching or consulting business past 50K per month, from the client acquisition systems to how to actually scale and sustain scale. If you want to access it, click the link below. Yeah, find it helpful.